Hi everybody, it's Maria. I wanted to show you some new journals that I made. I've been working on these for a long time. I've been so busy I haven't been able to finish them up, but they're finally done. They are quilted journals. They each have just one signature in them. The covers are a little different. Some of them have Edith Holden and some collaging on it, and this one has some embroidery, some hand embroidery that actually I did when I was a little girl. I found an old piece of an embroidery sampler that I made, and I just cut it up and used it for two of these journals. So there's this one, the blue one, and then this one has like a light yellow, and I love them. I think that was like such a cool thing to do with them. And this one is also some Edith Holden with some laces and lots of layering. So let's get inside them. I'll show you this one first. This is the blue one. Has some old vintage lace at the bottom. Has a sari silk closure. Has some burlap and some sheet music from the 1800s. And inside, I used that lace again for a inside pocket, and I lined it with some scrapbook paper, and it just has a couple little tags in there. And then on this side, there's a piece of embossed paper, and I did some collaging on that. It has three sweet little tags on there for some journaling. Over here I used like tiny little bags, and I did collaging on them, and I made some homemade tags out of old book pages. So there's one in there, and there's this one, and of course now the dog wants my attention. Some tea-dyed paper. I was watching Angela Kerr, and this is something I watched her do. She layered up some doilies and made tuck spots out of them. And I just tucked some little journaling cards here. And in the back of this one, I put, this is a large journaling tag. And this is a vintage postcard that I picked up at the antique store. And it has some handwriting on it, which is really cool. This says Memory Park in Salt Lake City, Utah, and it has a postage on it, and so I tucked that one back there. This is some old vintage ledger that I had picked up also at the antique store. It's from the 1800s. This says 1893. There's a few different dates on here, and I think it was a farm. There's some vellum, some grid paper. This is from Nick the Booksmith. And this is just tailor-made journals, I believe. It's her avocado dyed paper and some lace on it. This is a book page that I used to make a little envelope. And there's another vintage postcard. Ooh, this one has writing on it too. This one is, oh, I don't have my glasses on, West Virginia, Wheeling, West Virginia. And this is just a little tag. And inside the envelope, I just made a little tag out of an index card. And this is just another little journaling card that fits in there. And those tuck right back in. And this ties back up. Did a little collaging with fabric and a butterfly, little washi sticker, a little doily, some tea-dyed art paper. This is a vintage children's book. I just put a little tea card on the little flip out here. This is a Edith Holden page. And this is that vintage music sheet from the 1800s. And I just put on some tea-dyed paper so you could do some journaling on it. And on the back, there's a little notepad with little cut-offs, a little stamping, some lace and burlap. And this is a little vellum envelope that I put a little button on. I also got this jar of buttons, vintage buttons from the antique store. So it has a little Rolodex in it, and I also stuck a couple of little labels back there so that you could use them throughout your journal. This is a nature book. This is the center. I put some little flowers in there, and I did some stamping on grid paper. And then these are the back pages. I had so much fun making these. They took a long time because I was getting ready to go back to work and I just hadn't gotten back to them. But I am so glad to have them all done and ready to put in my Etsy shop. Let's see, this one says $18.95. This is, I actually cut this out of a piece of, it was a digital download of a scrapbook paper, and I just fussy cut it out and used it as a tuck spot for some journaling cards. Has a little quote on it. And then this is a little belly band with some lace, and I have 2 large journaling cards that tuck in behind there. I love that. And then this is the back. So it has a little pressed flower tag. And then it just has another one of these little envelopes with a little tag in it that you could mount somewhere if you want. And then it has a few more tags back here. A large journaling card. And then this is a little book that I made out of an old book page. And some cut-offs. And I just thought that was so pretty. I think I put one of those in all of these books. And I am just going to run through the other ones. They're all very similar, so I am just going to run through them quick. This one has some Tim Holtz dies. These are those vintage buttons that I picked up. In the front, this has different vintage lace that I had gotten. And here's the little booklet with some different collaging and some cut-offs in there. This one has an envelope flip out with the little notepad and the little vellum envelope filled with stickers and labels. And there's a large journaling card in this. And that tucks away in the envelope. And then in the back, in the flap, I made another large journaling card with some collaging. But otherwise, these are all very similar. They have the same types of pages. This one I used a large doily, put some little journaling cards in there. This is a little library card, and I decorated it. Got 2 little cards in there. And here's the vintage ledger. And the old book page. This is from the animal book. There's the vintage music sheet. And I did some more tea-dyed paper so you could use it for journaling. There's Edith Holden. See, so they're very, very similar. Just little tiny variations on them. But it's just really the covers that look different. This is from that same ledger book, 1892. A little tuck spot here with 2 little journaling cards. And this is just a little handmade journaling card and a little flash card. Tuck in there. This one has an envelope with 2 little cards that tuck in the back. And then it actually has a little magnet closure. There's a little magnet in there. And then this one, I just put 2 little journaling cards in there. And then this is the back cover. Here's your vintage postcard. And this is a piece of an Edith Holden book page that I used to make a large journaling card. So that's the second one. Love this one. Then we have this large one that has the Edith Holden on it also. They all have the same vintage trim on it. This one's a little different with the stuff I put in it. It has 2 little tags here, and instead of a booklet, I may have had a booklet somewhere else, but this has just like little tiny pockets that have like various little tags in them. And that tucks in there. This has the large journaling card that tucks in the envelope. There's this washi stickers and labels that you can use, a little pad. This is a beautiful journaling card. It's part of an Edith Holden page, and I made a journaling card out of it. I love that. I love how that came out. And then this one has the vintage postcard in it. Has a little bit of writing, and this is from Petersburg, Virginia. And then a little collaging on some embossed paper. There's the ledger. But again, this is all very similar inside. Love these. All very, oh, I love the lace over here. And this has a couple of journaling cards in there. This is the old book page. This is that layered tuck spot with the doilies. So it has a couple of little journaling cards tucked there. And then in the back, some larger ones. That one actually has a little pin with some beads on it. The Edith Holden page is the center. I love that. And there's some large journaling card there with a little tuck spot. There's the child's book. Some tags and a lace pocket. That has some pretty trim on it. This is like a layered up pocket. It has a large tag in the back, medium one in the middle, and then the front has a couple of little tiny cards in this. I think that's a thistle. Some vellum. Book page. Some art paper. Ledger paper. And this also has a vintage postcard. And it has a library card and a pressed flower card. And then in the back, it has a large journaling card. I used an old Botanical that I had. This has a magnet pocket with 2 little cards in it. And that I tucked into there. And this is the back cover. A few journaling cards. I love this one. And that is the third one. This one has the Edith Holden with the green paper. And last but not least, this one has, it's kind of like a peach colored trim, but I thought it went nice with the cover. And again, I did some paper inside, a couple of journaling cards. This is a large homemade journaling card. Here's your little booklet with all the little scrap pages. It tucks in there. Some collaging on there. This one also has the 2 little tags that come out the side. I love that. Came out cute. This one says 1891. We're getting deeper into the ledger. I just put some washi stickers on some of the pages. Beautiful doily imprint on that one. Music paper. This has a pad of paper and the little envelope there. Little Edith Holden. It's a vintage book postcard from Williamsburg, Virginia. And this is a little envelope that I tied. And inside that, it has a couple little cards and a larger journaling card. So I used up lots of book pages in this one, which is always good because I have a lot of them. Just tie that back up. Little secret spot. Here's the layered doily and two little botanicals and two little journaling cards in the back. This is the center, and in the center of this one I made another of those cutout pockets with some journaling cards that tuck back there. Another little library card with tuck spot. This is just some digital trim that I had. Edith Holden. That nature book. Here's another little library card tuck spot. I just think these came out so beautiful, and I'm so glad to have finally gotten them done so that I could get them in my Etsy shop and begin the next one. This has a large book page envelope that I did some collaging on. It's got a bunch of tags in there. So I'll stick those back in. And it has antique. This one has some writing on it. This one is from the Veteran Hospital in Huntington, West Virginia. And then another little tuck spot on the side, some embossed paper. And this is the back cover. It's got a homemade journaling card. And then a nature observations sheet that all tuck in there. So I hope you love them. I love them a lot. I followed one of Wendy's tutorials to make the quilted books, and I just love the way they came out. And I hope you do too. Have a great day, and we'll see you soon. Bye.